Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Red Dead Redemption 2 Master Hunter Challenge Guide. In this guide I'll be taking you over the quickest and easiest way on how you can complete the Master Hunter challenges in Red Dead Redemption 2. So without further ado, let's immediately dive into challenge number 1, which requires you to skin 3 deer. Now that's pretty simple, just make your way to Twin Stack Pass, find yourself a deer, shoot him in the face with a weapon of choice that is not a shotgun, because if you do then the skin will be ruined. Then make your way to the deer and simply skin it. Repeat this 3 times and you will have completed the challenge. It's super easy. Deer can be found all over the map. It doesn't have to be specifically on Twin Stack Pass. It's just a convenient location because then we can immediately dive into the next challenge, which can be done in the exact same location. Challenge number 2 requires you to collect 3 perfect quality rabbit pelts. Now there's 2 ways you can go about this. Either you can decide to craft small game arrows, which requires you to get some feathers from birds, some shotgun shells, which is just regular shotgun ammo, and also some arrows as well. Then you can craft those from your crafting menu, and then you can start using your small game arrows on rabbits. However, what I personally found is that purchasing the varmint rifle is a much better idea, because you can basically shoot the rabbit anywhere and you will have a sure kill and also a perfect pelt as well. Moving on to challenge number 3, where you have to track 10 different animal species using your binoculars. Now this one isn't all too difficult, but there's a few things you have to keep in mind. First of all, of course, is equipping your binoculars, and you can find it in your items menu in the same slot as your camera. From there you basically want to find unique species of animals, such as like a deer, but then what you want to do after that is show the information and then track the animal as well. If you don't do that, it will not count towards the challenge. Farm animals don't count, and they have to be 10 different species. So it can't be 2 deer, it has to be a deer and a buck, for example. And that's basically what you have to do 10 times. My general strategy for this one is to kind of stick around in the heartlands, and I kind of make a quick dip to this location right here, where you can get an easy spot of an alligator and possibly a snake as well. Maybe on your way there you'll find something new too, because everything is completely random. You might find some animals you haven't seen yet, or you find nothing at all. Obviously all those small animals like squirrels and stuff like that do count as well, so do keep that in mind. If you still don't really have anything, obviously heading up north is a really good idea, because you will find like wolves and bears and stuff like that. That is definitely a good option too. Just gonna go around the world, try to see if you can find some unique animals to have a look at through your binoculars. And that is kind of what it is for the challenge. Challenge number 4 requires you to cull an animal and get a clean kill 5 times. Now the way to do this is actually really simple. Personally, I snuck back to the Heartlands again, where I found myself a buck or a deer. I got close enough to where I was able to call the animal as I was aiming at it, which you do with square or with X. And then as soon as you call, the head of the animal will be raised and you just shoot it in the face, and that's 1 out of 5. And I just repeat that 4 more times so you would have completed the challenge. It's really easy, it's not difficult at all. Challenge number 5 requires you to skin 3 black or grizzly bears. The area I found the most useful was near the border of Grizzly's west. That spot from Wallace Station all the way to the west, that kind of area was pretty common to see some black bears running around there. One thing I do want to note is that do not use a shotgun. If you use a shotgun, you will ruin the opportunity of being able to skin the bear, and it will make this challenge last longer than it needs to be. Kind of just hang around in that area. Bait doesn't really seem to be working all that well for bears. From my experience, it only attracts coyotes, which, well, you don't need them for any challenges, so why bother? But yeah, just try to shoot them with a regular rifle or with a repeater, and you should be fine. It doesn't have to be perfect quality pelt. All that matters is that you can skin the animal 3 times and you will have completed the challenge. Challenge 6. Probably the main reason why you're here. Challenge number 6, I'm gonna just be straight up and honest with you. It is possible to get the cougars inside of the first part of the map. However, but speaking from experience, it took me 4 to 5 hours to get those 5 cougar kills. But trust me, it is much easier that you wait until you have unlocked Blackwater and New Austin and all that stuff, so you can get the cougar kills much easier. You want to know why? Well, look at this screen right here. These are all the locations in New Austin and West Elizabeth that have cougar spawns in them. And now it doesn't take a genius to figure out that this is a whole lot more spawns than the 2 spawns you have in the map that you start the game in. However, if you're someone that is purely stuck on the fact that it does want to move on with these hunter challenges, again, it is possible, and there is a possible way that me and someone else have tested and seems to be working in order to get these cougars to spawn. The way we've done it is actually relatively simple. What you do is you set up a camp and then you advance the time as much as you can every time you try to go for some sleep. So for example, if you start off in the morning, you can advance the time, I think, by like at most like 20 hours or something. Trying to do that and then go back and forth in this little route that I'm highlighting here right now. If you don't get any cougars by going up and down that road, then once again set up camp and advance the time once more. This is basically the only way that we were able to get somewhat consistent spawns for cougars. Predator bait doesn't seem to work, it's only attracting coyotes, so don't bother with that either. This is pure 100% RNG, and no matter what I tried by getting legendary animals out of the area, I even shot the trapper in the head that was on there, it doesn't matter. Cougars are a rare spawn, they're not happening very often in the Big Valley and north of Annesburg areas. At least from my experience, it could very much well be that if you head that way and that you suddenly see 5 cougars spawn at the same time. That's how RNG works. It's random for everyone. There's a possibility that you might get lucky. I personally didn't for about 5 hours. So my personal advice is wait until you unlock New Austin. Challenge 7 requires you to use bait to lure and kill a predator. Now this might sound a whole lot more difficult than it actually is, but funny enough it actually only requires you to have bait put down, and it doesn't seem to matter which one it actually is. Because as you can see by the clip right here, I spotted a bunch of animals roaming around the land there, and I saw a bear and also a buck. I put down the bait, but by the time I was putting down the bait, the bear spotted me, which means that it wasn't counting. But as the bear was getting aggressive and the buck was running away, obviously bait was no longer a thing. So I shot the buck in the face and that counted towards the challenge. I killed the bear, didn't count towards the challenge, but luckily this challenge gives you a bit of time in order to get the next kill as well. Then a bit further away, I spotted a black bear, and I shot the black bear in the face even though it was very far away from the bait and it wasn't even going towards it. So from what I can tell, you don't actually have the animal come close to the bait. As soon as you put down the bait, the challenge seems to be active and you can just kill a predator and a herbivore and you should be alright. If not, however, and it's not working for you, purchasing herbivore and predator bait from the general store should make this as easy as it possibly can. Challenge number 8 requires you to catch 3 small fish without using your fishing rod. And there's only one simple way of completing this challenge, is by whipping out your weapon and start shooting. Just to be on the safe side, make sure to use your revolver or the varmint rifle and kind of shoot your way with some deadeye in order to slow down the time and also be able to see the fish a little bit easier as well through the water. And just simply shoot them with one shot, and then you have to chase them, obviously because they're going downstream. Also make sure that your gun is holstered because it will be easier to pick up the fish. Repeat this 3 times and you will have completed the challenge. And for what I can tell, assisted aim or deadeye lock on is not going to work, so you're gonna have to free aim this one if you want to complete this challenge. Challenge number 9 requires you to kill an opossum playing as a possum, and in plain English this means that there is an animal called the Virginia opossum, which has a special feature of playing dead if it feels threatened. So what you have to do is basically chase this animal, and unless it plays dead, you have to bring it to its unfortunate end. You do have to be a bit quick about this one though, because it can get up again and start running away. You do have now an opportunity because it tends to do the exact same thing once again, but obviously you shouldn't have too much difficulty with this one. Just make sure your deadeye meter is filled so you can activate deadeye as soon as you see it laying on the ground. And then finally, challenge number 10 requires you to find and kill the legendary Panther with a Spanish name that I cannot pronounce. Now, in all honesty, this is no different than any other regular legendary animal hunt, really. You need to find 3 clues, and after you find those 3 clues, you will finally be able to track the animal itself. Do watch out though, it's quite aggressive and it kind of sneaks up on you. and before you know it, you're its lunch. So a pro tip would be to quickly make a manual save before you enter the area. The main reason for that is because if you fail and die, you're probably gonna have to wait a few days until it appears again. But once you finally do manage to kill him, you can take its legendary pelt to the trapper and sell it for a nice profit as well. Alongside of that, it will be added to the trapper's inventory, and later down the line you will be able to craft something special with it. And while you're at the trapper, make sure to pick up your special reinforced gear that you got for completing challenge 1, 3, 7 and 10. And that brings us to the end of this Master Hunt Challenges guide. I hope you found this useful. If you did, make sure to leave it a like. Subscribe for all the other challenge guides coming up soon as well. And much more Red Dead Redemption 2 content coming to you very soon. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.